Buddy, come. Come on. Come on, buddy. Good boy. Come on. Attaboy. Come on, buddy. Good boy. Come on. All right. Sit. So nice. What a good boy. What a good boy, buddy. All right. All right, well, here we are back again at Animal Training Development Center, and you just witnessed our little West Highland White Terrier named Buddy doing a recall command. And I promise you, the only reason he came when he was called is because of this little tiny line that we have attached to him. So Buddy is kind of a special case. He has a very high dominant dogality type, and when he feels like he's got options, he pretty much chooses not to come when called. And this isn't typically the case. Usually, once you develop a little bit of trust and respect between them, the come command isn't such a big deal, especially if there's nothing else going on to distract them. But in his case, he still maintains this kind of, very strong-minded stance that, he doesn't always want to do what he's told. Once he's on leash and once he's on his training tools, we really don't have any trouble at all. Buddy, sit. Good boy. Buddy, heel. Good. Oh, heel. And this little lightweight line is nothing more than paracord. It's about an 8-foot section of paracord. At the end of it, there's this little clasp, attaboy, that attaches to the very same point that I've got his leash attached. And in Buddy's case, we've selected a prong collar to help him through his board and train program. And that's what we're doing with Buddy these 10 days, has been his board and train program. And as you guys know, if you've been watching for a while, the board and train program that we do is kind of like boot camp. It's pretty intense. There's a lot to get done and really not a lot of time to get it done when it comes to training. So we've got to get the walking on a loose leash, the sit command, heel command, down command, come command, go in your kennel command, place command, and getting out of vehicles command, all the while still working on the problem behavior that is going on with every dog. And so whether that's jumping or demand behavior or barking or chewing or digging, all these things are really worked on in the first 10 days that we have them. So a lot to do. Buddy, sit. Add to that Buddy's just now just a little over 9 months old, heel. And so that's a whole lot to do. And then add to that Buddy has a high dominant dogality type, which is very frequently the case when you deal with West Highland White Terriers. Good boy. Good dog. Westies, as a lot of us like to call them, instead of saying West Highland White Terrier, we like to use Westies, are often very tenacious dogs. The idea of a terrier is that they're often a smaller creature going into a hole, pulling out a creature bigger than themselves out of said hole, and that makes them, that makes them tough as nails. And so heel, when we first started working with Buddy, I should, start shooting more before videos instead of the after videos that you guys are always seeing, because in the before cases, good, you would have literally saw while I was training him to heel for the first time, him coming up and biting the inside of my kneecap here. Did break the skin a little bit, which doesn't happen very frequently in my training at this stage of my career, but it happened that day, and it was all because Buddy wasn't about following anybody. He wanted to do his thing, and if I was going to try to make him come my way, he was coming my way with a little bit of intention, teaching me in his mind that that's not going to be okay. Well, we worked through it, heel, and as you can see, this heel command is looking really good right now. We're working our right side. And you can see he's staying right in that heel position. So when we talk about heel, it's a position in relationship to your body. And since our owner has chose the right side, that's exactly where we want him to be. Very good, Buddy. Very good, Buddy. Good dog. So we're going to get back to the heel command in a minute. I just want to kind of share that little story with you and give you this kind of, scene right out of the gate. If he weren't wearing that long line, I'd be walking around the training center right now still trying to get him on leash because he's very reluctant to come under control. Once he sees that you have control, he's smart enough to know not to resist too much. And so the tip that I give the owners of Buddy in this case is that keep your tools on. I mean, have a lightweight line like this. It's very inexpensive. We're talking about 8 feet of paracord and a little clasp at the end of it. We have them here at the training center for sale. They're $10. And for $10, you can have this in your house. And now Buddy is going to be a lot more biddable and it'll be a better buddy to you if he is more aware that you have some form of control over him, at least in these early stages of his training that are going to continue for a while. We give the release word to him, and when I do, I say, okay, good. And now, of course, Buddy can do what he wants, except get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. This is the first thing we teach every dog here at Animal Training Development Center is just that. The unspoken command is the idea that if I put a leash on a dog, I shouldn't have to wrestle with them to keep them from trying to pull me one direction or another. If I walk forward, they should stay within the length of leash that they're on. There we go. And if they don't, I'm just going to proactively tug in the opposite direction that they're going. So if he's too far ahead, I'm tugging backwards. If he's too far behind, which is more the case right now, I would tug a little bit forward. This isn't the heel command. He doesn't have to stay on my right. In fact, I can turn around this way and he can be on my left side, but it's still the same rule. The unspoken rule is that he should never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. And a lot of the time, especially if you're outside, Buddy's the type of dog, because of his dominant side, which I think is cool, but a dominant dog likes to be in front. And that's all right. I don't mind a dog in front of me as long as they're not getting the end of the leash in that direction. So if you're walking him forward and he's trying to go too fast, just be prepared to pull backwards and stop his progress, and making it clear to him that even though Buddy may be in the front of you, doesn't make him your leader. And so I think we can do that very well. A lot of people say, well, a dog should never be ahead of you because they're going to think that they're your leader. I would say, I believe that dogs can be ahead of you and still know that you're the leader from behind, so long as they're not trying to get to the end of the leash and pull you along. And you can see he's keeping a good eye on me, doing a good job with that unspoken command. That's what I'd like everybody to start with. So when you get Buddy home after we've had him for 10 days, start off just like this, maybe a lightweight line like that. And then a leash, a 6-foot leash like we've got here is really good. You've got one that you brought with him, I remember. That'll work just fine. The idea of just being walking around with him just like I am, stopping from time to time just like I do. Walk faster sometimes. What if I walk fast? Good. What if I go this way? And do this inside your own house in a subtle but very powerful way. This starts to demonstrate to Buddy and every dog that we train in a way that they can really understand and appreciate that we're now taking that leadership role, and they therefore become kind of a follower. They're starting to see you as a leadership pack member, and you're going to start to earn the respect of a high dominant dog like Buddy, and over time, he's going to get better and better at it. But trust me when I say, because of his age mostly, Buddy is still in what we call pupperty instead of puberty. So think about kids, they go into puberty and, by the time they're, 7th, 8th grade, they start to think they know everything. And in their minds, parents start getting dumber and, they get wiser. But as kids of that age, I recall when I was, about the time I got 25, 26, suddenly, my parents did have some good advice that I start to look forward to. And now I talk to my parents on a very regular basis, even at my older age, for advice. Same thing with a dog. When they're young at this stage, 9 months, 10 months, all the way up to the time they're 2 years old, just expect a lot of questions being asked of you. What if I don't come when you call me? What are you going to do about it? Well, right now I'm telling you, have your tools in place, because he's smart enough to know if if they're not, he's not going to listen. So a lightweight line like he's on, even around the house, when you get outside and you start walking him, I would recommend this prong collar that we've got him set up with. We're going to talk to you about that more when you come. But in essence, you know, on a physical level, these West Highland Whites are tough as steel. And if they don't want to do something, not much you can do about it if you don't have the right tool. And what we're seeing with him is his ability to communicate in a way that he's respecting and appreciating, which is going to start to build our trust. And that's the other side of the training. Sit. Good boy. You want both trust and respect to be growing in order for a relationship to flourish. And that's not just between dogs and people. That's between people and people. That's between people and employers. That's between you know, you and your best friend. You know, these are things that we always have to be looking at. Heel, is this breaking down because of the environment that we're in, or is it getting stronger because of how we work through the environment that we're in? A lot of that comes down to the right tools. Good boy. I told you, and I'm not kidding, if that long line weren't on him and I took the leash off, I'd have a hard time getting him to come and call to me right now, today, myself, even after being with him for 10 days, because he's smart enough to know when that long line is off, you can't catch him. And if you can't catch him, he's going to mess with you. But even that little bit of line on there, just dragging him, I'll show you, taking that off. Good boy, buddy. Okay. Give him the release word. Okay, buddy, come. He's coming to me. See that? Good. Sit. Good boy. Okay. Now, I could take the long line off and prove to you that he won't come to me when the line is off, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste the next 15 minutes and trying to get him back. I know that that's going to be the case, so we're just not going to even allow that to be the case. I'm just going to go ahead and slip my leash right back in the same loop that the long line is attached to, and now we can get back to training. All right. Buddy, sit. When you have a dominant dog, probably their least favorite command besides the come command that they resist is also the down command that they resist. Because in the wild, we're talking about wolves, the down is a submissive gesture that's recognized by the rest of the pack as being kind of a salute as we look at it in the military. So when I tell him down, he's not doing it. I'm just going to put a little pressure on the leash. No, down. There he goes. No, down. Good. Oh boy, that was more temper tantrum than anything else. Here again. Let's heel. If in doubt, heel it out. I don't know if you can see in the video, but you start to get that little bit of a, I call it bubble gum chewing. That's an anxiety kind of thing. He started to get himself freaked out. If you see your dog start to do that bubble gum chewing, their mouth just starts to go like that. My general rule is, favorite rule of all, if in doubt, heel it out, because we're going to get moving, we're going to get connected again, we're going to take away that stress and anxiety just walking through this. Let's not keep fighting over the down command. If that's going to be an issue, we're going to relax ourselves, and then we can come back and try that again. Buddy, down. Here again. Down. Good boy. Buddy, down. You can just use your other foot and then step up a little higher and a little higher. Buddy, down. Just like that. Don't step too hard too fast. I'm not trying to freak him out. I'm just trying to show him, no, down. That this down thing's going to happen. He's going to salute me. Just like you go to boot camp. I've never been there, but I've known people that have. And when they go there, you could be as tough as you think you are, but you are going to be saluting some people just at their appearance into your view if you want to, get through there without a lot of, difficulties, we'll call it that. Same thing with dog training. Heel. I'm not looking to dominate a dog just because I want to be like a tough guy and a bully over them. I'm looking to make it clear to them that you got to trust and respect me. There are going to be times we're going to have a conflict in interest. Good boy. And that may be because I'm calling you, and you as the dog think that you should go chase that squirrel across the busy highway. And I'm saying, no, come. And he's saying, no, squirrel, and one of us has to win. Well, if he wins, he might die chasing that squirrel. I mean, this is a worst case scenario, but these things can happen. So we have to make it clear, even when there's low-level distractions like we have right now, that this is still important. Down. Awesome. Good boy, buddy. Now, praise is something that we want to give, but when you have a high dominant dog like Buddy is, if I was to bend down and start praising him a lot, it's just going to kick right back into his mind as being another chance to, come back a little stronger and resist a little bit more next time. I'd much prefer gentle praise and just letting him settle in just like he is there, and then heel. Good boy. You may have noticed whenever I give that heel command, I always lead with my inside foot. So if your dog heels on the right, your inside foot is the right. If your dog heels on the left, your inside foot is the left. In that case, right there, outside foot, you can see he's doing a really good job of just staying put just like he should. Inside foot, good boy. He's getting right up and following me just like he should. And so what we're developing is a dog that's not just listening to our command, but watching us for information as well. Good boy. Buddy, down. Awesome job. Outside foot. Staying put, just like that. Good boy, buddy. Inside foot. Attaboy! What a good job. And I don't mind praising a lot when I'm in that heel position. I'm building that camaraderie, this idea that we're a team, all very good stuff. So when they're debating things, I don't want to praise too much because I don't want to praise them for thinking they're getting rewarded for a lot of debate. Down. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Okay, excellent. We're going to cut the video, and then I'm going to bring out a couple more props, show you the rest of the stuff that we did. I hope that you were paying attention to that, and you can practice at home a little bit. Our general way of doing things is after we had a board and trained dog for 10 days, when people finally come back to pick up their dog, I don't like to try to do a training session right then. The dog's, so excited to see them. They're so excited to see their dog. Let's just get you guys back together. Take a look at this video, practice a little bit at home, get a feel for it, and you'll have some questions for me. You get a free private session whenever you're ready, after you've seen the video, to call. We'll schedule it, time that works for both of us. You can come back here to the training center with your dog and anybody else in your family like to come watch and participate. And we're going to, put the leash in your hands, and I'm going to coach you through doing the things I'm doing now. In addition to that, you're going to get a card that has 5 punch places that you can use up until the first of the year of 2025 to go ahead and come to one of our drop-in classes. And so the idea there is you, along with anybody else that's in that same kind of timeline, can come with your dogs. You don't have to tell us you're coming. Don't have to tell us if you're not. We're going to be here, and we're going to be ready to help coach you. And then with Buddy participating with a bunch of other dogs and other people, he's going to be able to learn to focus on you. Despite all that, this is really bringing up his ability to focus on you through higher levels of distraction. And I had the pleasure of working with Buddy through this last yesterday, our drop-in class yesterday. So very good around other dogs, able to stay focused on me and all that good stuff. Really proud of him. I think he's going to be a great dog, but he's not an easy dog. So I just want to ease you guys into his mentality and get you guys the best that you can get. So stay tuned. We're going to set up the other stations here, and then we're going to be back to show you the rest of the stuff. Good boy, Buddy. Buddy, sit. Good boy. Sit. Good. All right, welcome back. Here we are again with Buddy, and now we've set up some more scenarios to work through, some more commands to show. And first scenario I want to work through is this figure 8 pattern. We're using 2 cones here, but at home you can put 2 books on the floor, 2 chairs, whatever you want, just 2 objects. As I say heel, I want to start to practice some figure 8 patterns. So if I'm going left around one object, heel, and then right around the other, good. He should be able to do, some figure 8 patterns with me. Now, it doesn't seem like it, but there's a lot going on in the midst of all this figure 8 stuff. He's got to slow down when I go to the right, and then he has to speed up if I turn toward the left to stay in my heel position. So the heel position is exactly that. It's a position in relationship to your body. And for Buddy, because he's on the heel, we're kind of looking for his left paw to fall in line with my right foot each and every step. Heel. Now, he may not be perfect with that, but that's our goal. Is I want to look for that as close as I can. If he gets too much out of position, I'm going to say the word no. Come on, no, heel. And then I'm going to tug in such a way it's going to help him get closer to where he needs to be. When I stop, excellent. He should sit automatically just like that. What a good boy, Buddy. What a good boy. Down. Down. Good. I gave him the extra one. Really, you should only say it once, but nope, down. There you go. That's what you do if they don't do it, but I thought he was looking at me, focusing on me. Felt like I should give him at least one more try. A little weakness of me, my old age, because here's the thing, guys. You may only have time to say it once. It's like, come, and either they listen to your command, they turn and come back to you, or they run in front of that car, So there's got to be some urgency to this. I try to work with them, but at the same time, I need them to, nope, down. Understand that it's right now, and it's continual. So the down command is on until I give him either a different command to do, like if I say heel, obviously he can stop laying down to get up and do that. But if I don't say heel, he needs to be able to hold that down position until I give the release word, down. Good boy, Buddy. Okay, just like that. All right, let's show you this next one. Place. Good. He likes this one. Buddy, he's a cuddler. I mean, he likes cozy things at home. We've got pictures I'll put on here, if I can find them from my phone, of him countless times just cozying up to our other dogs that he got to hang out with and enjoy around the household for the last 10 days. Even when they're not next to him, he likes to cozy up on the pillows and stuff like that. He likes to snuggle. He's into sunshine, so if you can park whatever you have in front of a window where there's sun going, that seems to be his very favorite thing. And to me, I want to, when I say to a dog place, wherever that place is, it might be like a bedroom to a teenager. It's like, oh, that's my home away from home. Actually, that's my home within my home, I guess you could say. And so the idea being, that I'm there, that's as comfortable and peaceful as I can be because I feel really safe there. And that's what I want the place to be. There's only one rule when they're on the place command, and that is they can't get off the place command. So as I walk around here and drop the leash, if I were to get out a vacuum cleaner and vacuum around him, if I was going to get a ball and bounce it past him, if I get out treats and drop them around here, these are all different levels of what we call distractions. And the higher levels of distraction your dog can work through, the better trained they are. So initially speaking, when we get a dog and we've got 10 days, we may only get up to stage 2 or 3. So we're walking around him, we're vacuum around him. I might push a broom past him. Maybe I even bounce a ball as he holds that sit position. But we're not going to maybe get to the top level where he has to do that for a half hour, despite the fact that the grandkids are visiting and they're running past him, as he's holding his place command. You can get there, and I promise you will, but we can't do all that in 10 days with a 10-month-old dog. We got some more work for you to do when you get home. Up, nope, place. Just because I pick up the leash, there's an example right there. Just because I go and pick up the leash doesn't mean the place command is over. Good boy. Till I say, okay. Okay, buddy. There you go. Come on. That's it. Very nice. So we got that. Last thing I'll show you right here. Come on, buddy. Crate. Crate is just like the place command. That means that he can do whatever he wants while he's in there. He just can't come out until I tell him. So he's doing a really good job of doing that now. You notice the door's not even closed. He is on leash, and if he weren't, I'd have him on the long line. And if he wasn't, I'm pretty sure he'd be messing with us, okay? So just keep your tools in place right now. Don't give him a chance to mess up your training by proving you wrong. And he's smart enough to know when the odds are in his favor. And just so get yourself the $10 line You make sure you got your tools in place. Go at this the right way. And what I love about dominant dogs like Buddy is as they grow into the idea of doing it your way, they become as stubborn about doing it your way as they used to be about doing it their way. All right, so look forward to that day. In the meantime, come, give him that command to come. Obviously, he can get out of there in order to do that. The come, let's get him untangled here. Buddy, come, good. Just like that. The come is a position in relationship to your body, kind of like the heel is a position in relationship to your body, except instead of him being on my right side and his left paw falling in line with my right foot, I'm looking for him doing just like he's doing now, coming and sitting in front of me. If I need to reach down and grab his collar and put a leash on him, I can. That's what I want. I don't want him to come and then just run past me. That's not going to help me if I need to get him back under control. So when we teach him to come, here again, Buddy, come. Good boy, Buddy. Awesome. Good boy. Just like that. Okay. Okay is his release word, and he can do what he wants. But as you see, when I give that command, come, I'm going backwards. And by going backwards, I'm drawing him to me, stopping, making sure he sits, and then rewarding him. Now, there are a lot of ways you could reward a dog. You could reward a dog verbally, so with a good boy. You could reward a dog physically with a pet. You can reward a dog with a treat. You can reward a dog with a toy. I would invite you to try all those things, with Buddy and start to, for yourself, see what he likes best and start to, interact with him that way, because the best dog is, responding, because they respect you and they know they really don't have an option. And that's a lot of what we try to prove to them is like, look, this is in your best interest. I am sorry if you don't like it initially. It's just how things go. I didn't like going to the dentist when I was a kid. I still don't like going to the dentist at my age. But you know what? You, over time, figure out, well, this is really in your best interest, and let's just go ahead and get it done, because if I don't, the consequences are much worse than if I just went and did it, right? And I'm proud to say for the last 5 years, I've had perfect checkups and all that good stuff. Well, that wasn't how it was when I was a kid growing up and eating all the candy and stuff I did. But I still had to go to the dentist and deal with whatever consequences were there. Same thing with a young dog. When you call them and they don't come and there's no correction and they run off and do what they want, you can just imagine the next time you call them, they're going to be a lot more likely to do that again and again and again and again, until you get your tools right and you get your technique right and you start systematically working your way up through the distraction levels that you and your dog have to face. And so when we talk about the distraction ladder, we're talking about like a real ladder. There's a lot of steps to it. So you think about a ladder, and the first step is an easy step. It's right there, barely above your foot, and you step on it. Well, the next one, you lift your other foot up, and right there it is. And you can climb a long way up. You can climb super long way up if you've got a super tall ladder. And same thing with distractions in your dog. So the first distraction might be inside your own house without a lot going on. Maybe the idea, can I just leave with my outside foot and the dog stay put? So if I tell him down, which he already is, now that he's in that position, that outside foot, oops, he broke. I'm kind of glad he did. Watch. No, down. That's all I had to do to fix it. Outside foot. Let's try that again. There, he's holding. Much better. Good. That's like a step up the distraction ladder. Okay, so the next one might be a little bit more. I might have a little pile of treats right there and say heel, and let's see if we can walk around that. If I say heel and I'm going around a pile of treats, he better not try to get up and race over there and grab that treat. That's going to break the heel command. When they're in the heel position, they should be in the right position physically, but they should also stay in the right position mentally, and that is focus on you, no sniffing the ground, no being too far ahead or too far to the right, too far to the left, all that good stuff. Sit, good boy. Down, good boy, buddy. And that's what we've been working on. So loved him, loved this guy. I mean, what a great little personality. Aside from the high dominant side that he definitely has, that's his top thing, and that's cool. I like dominant dogs. Right underneath that, though, he does have a very supportive side. He gets into that, cuddly mood, and he wants a little bit of attention. He's a very sweet. Oops, did you break your down? Nope, down. He has this very sweet disposition, Okay, see if I can show that to you a little bit. There we go. You know, that he does. He enjoys interacting. He's very friendly once he gets to know other dogs, and very tolerant of other dogs' behaviors, while maintaining his nice, confident, dominant side. There it is. That a boy. Oh, stretching. Good boy. So we're going to take him home. We're going to get his nails trimmed for you. It's one of our perks here at Animal Training Development. Make sure we send him home nice and groomed and feeling good. And looking forward to you getting him back. Once you've got him back, like I said, take a look at this video a few times. Maybe get out and try to practice a little bit of this in your own living room. Don't try to do this outside right away. There's a lot more unpredictable distractions that you have to deal with as soon as you step out your front door. And so we're looking for you to start this off in your own living room. See if you can't practice through some of these on your own. And if you struggle, don't worry about it. Just keep notes so that we can talk about it when you come out for your private lesson. Give us a call. We'll schedule that for a time that works for us both, and have you come back and show you that. Get you your little card of drop-in class dates, and see you guys through to a wonderful, wonderful dog. We'd like to thank you now again for your trust in us. And as we always like to say to everybody at the end of each video, we'd like to wish you happy training. Okay, buddy. Good boy, buddy.